Hi everybody. I am so excited because today I just got the Apple TV 4K in the mail. And look at this thing. I'm not even going to get into the details. I just want to unbox it, but it feels so good just to get it. I can't wait to smell the electronics when it comes out. So I'm going to unbox this right now. And I want to do a quick review on it because I know everyone's excited to see it. I am just going to unbox it right now and see what we've got. Here we go. Alright, take a look at this right now. So, this is the new Apple TV. I can already see the new raised button on the remote. We're going to take that out. Oh, so nice. Definitely feels really good in the hand. Really good. It feels different. I definitely feel the raised button there. We're going to talk more about that. Apple TV looks about the same as the 4th generation, so not much difference there. Let's pull this off. Okay, underneath, air vents. I'm going to go ahead and pull the side wrapping off and see the controls. So you got your AC, we've got HDMI and Ethernet right there, but you can use Wi-Fi. I'm going to use Wi-Fi. I don't have Ethernet port right now, so looks really good. Obviously, you're going to get the AC cable, and we've got our book. You've got a charger, another charger for the remote. So that is going to be that. And that's really all we have. So let's get into the review. Okay, so first thing to note about this Apple TV 4K is it's expensive. So it's $179 for the 32 gigabyte. And the 64 gigabyte will run you $199. So that's more than the competition. So you can still get the 4th generation Apple TV without the 4K. If you don't have a 4K set, I recommend that. It's only $149. So while the competition has 4K HDR capability, like the Roku Ultra for $99 and the Chromecast Ultra for $69, will get you 4K HDR. So why would you even want this? Well, it's because of the Apple ecosystem. Everybody knows that it's going to be a beautiful interface, it's going to work smoothly, it's going to look elegant, and that's why people buy it. That's why I buy Apple, that's why I love Apple. So Dolby Vision is supported on Netflix, Amazon, and others. And what's important to note about Dolby Vision is that the experts agree that it is the best video quality that you can get today. So when you combine that with HDR10, which is really the difference between the lightest lights and the darkest blacks, will give you just a stunning image. And Apple's keynote showed the color enhanced with HDR. So you're going to get a really good picture with HDR. So if you have a TV, this is the caveat, if you've got a 4K TV, OLED being the best right now, but 4K TV that supports HDR, Samsung TVs are beautiful, the LCDs are amazing, the LED TVs for that matter. So you want this box if you have, or a box like it, if you have a 4K HDR TV. It won't be as great as going from standard definition to HD. So when you went from your standard definition to high HD TV, which is 1080p, that was a dramatic change. Going to 4K from HD is not going to be that dramatic. Even going to HDR and Dolby Vision won't be as dramatic. You really have to be precise in your viewing just to make sure. I mean, still HD looks really good. So if you're really a stickler about quality, that's where you want the 4K. So let's talk about the pros. It converts everything to 4K. So the Apple TV 4K will convert the icons, text, and graphics all to 4K, and you're going to see that with the interface. And I'm going to put links below to other reviews that really went in detail, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on my TV in a little bit. One thing is iTunes Movie. So iTunes Movies, advantage to this is that because of Apple's purchasing power, the regular 4K movies that are sold everywhere for $30, Apple made deals to get those movies for $20. So you won't have to pay that $30. So $10 cheaper is really good. The other thing Apple's going to do is upgrade your previous purchases that were in HD quality to 4K. Once they become available as remastered in 4K, you're going to get those automatically, so you don't have to worry about buying them again, which is really powerful because, you know, a lot of big companies like to make more money by having you purchase new and better things, so it's good that they're doing that. So the only thing to note is that they don't have the Disney movies, so they didn't get a contract with Disney. That means that you aren't going to be able to get the Marvel, all the Marvel movies like you would on Disney and things like that, because they don't have a deal with that. So those Marvel movies will not be in 4K right now on the Apple TV. The other thing that we get is ESPN. So there's an app on here for ESPN. ESPN is going to let you have 4 streams at once. So you're going to be able to have 4 boxes on your TV, and you're going to be able to configure those any way you like. You want bigger and smaller and this to have more priority, you're going to be able to change all that. So that's going to be really amazing. You're going to have news as well, so you're going to have live news. So you're going to have live sports and live news. So the other thing is you can play games, and the amazing thing about that is, you know, there's not many games on here, but it is nice that you have kind of a Wii remote where you can play tennis and things like that, and you'll be able to do that, which is really, really good. I kind of like that idea. So let's talk about this remote. Let's zoom in right there. This remote has, the one thing with the old remote, you couldn't tell top or bottom. I really didn't like that about the old remote. So in the dark, or it's darker, you just pick up the remote, you don't know which end or which button is which, and you don't know where to go. So what they've done to solve that is they put a raised white button on the remote, and that's on the menu button. So that now when you pick it up, you can just kind of feel which way is up on this remote, and you're going to be able to do that. They didn't say they improved battery life, but battery life was always so good on this. I can count on one hand how many times I might have plugged this in to charge it, and only because I thought maybe I should charge. It's been so long on my old one. You have the Siri's voice search button, which Siri voice search, which is, I think, the best on any. Some people say that Siri isn't so good, but on the TV, on the Apple TV, it is perfect. Whenever you talk to it, you can say go back 5 seconds. It'll turn on closed captioning when you do that, or you ask it who's playing in this. It works very well on this, and I think works better than the Roku when you do voice search. So I really like that. The one thing that this has is
what I meant to say was the
A10X
A10X Fusion chip.
Give you the really, really fast processing, even better than what we had before, and you're going to need that for handling the kinds of apps that you're going to have on it, which are much more powerful now. So you want the best processor on here, and it's very quick from what I have read. So can't wait to plug that in a second. So there's the pros. So let's talk about the cons. So there are some cons that you need to be aware of, and I want you as my audience to be aware of. So Amazon Prime, not yet on here. They did make a deal. They are getting Amazon Prime, which has 4K movies. Amazon Prime is on my Roku right now. Works very well. My wife loves the 4K movies on Amazon Prime and is kind of disappointed I don't have it when I put this on. But we are going to get that at the end of the year. So, but in 2017, we should get that. Okay, another con is HBO Go. HBO Go is upscaled with the Apple TV. So it being upscaled to 4K with HDR changes what some people like in the image that they're getting on HBO Go. So it's only reported with HBO Go.
I did
right
not
now,
have
maybe
this
HBO
issue.
Now,
I saw
but
that
the
HBO
whites
Go
are too
looked
white and the blacks
very
are too
good,
black.
so
it
this was
seems
not an
like,
issue for
the
me.
Dark Knight, some people have said that that is an issue. So I'm going to put links to that below that people have said that, and you can watch the video on The Verge and CNET, and they talk about similar things like that. The plan for Apple TV is to create deals with cable providers and make sure that you have a single sign-on, and the ideal is that you sign in once on the Apple TV and it remembers that sign-on, and if you sign in with your cable provider, it will go ahead and sign in all the apps that the cable provider is signed into, like your HBOs and ESPN and things like that. So currently, certain cable providers like Chromecast and Verizon Fios, they do not support this particular thing. There's no deal with Apple at the moment, so you're going to have to sign in individually with these apps. So you'll find that on some cable providers that don't have agreements with Apple, you're going to have to go through that sign-in process with each app that you load. So kind of negative there, but once you're signed in, Siri should work really well with that. The other thing is the remote. I know I said the remote is really good, but some people still do not like this touchpad. I love it. I think it works really well. But some people, including my wife, does not think it works as well as you'd like. Sometimes you skip around and it's a little slippery, but that is an issue for some. I don't think they're going to correct it. I think that's just the way we're going to have to deal with it. But just remember, you can click that, you can go around. There's really no tips. It works like a touchpad on a computer similarly to that. So there's another con that a lot of people have. It's not for everybody, but this is a con for some that have Atmos sound. I currently do not have Atmos sound. The Apple TV does not support Dolby Atmos. So what that means is you have 7.1 speakers, you have speakers all on the ceiling, and it images it more of a better sound with movies and things like that. So if you have a stereo system that supports Atmos, you're going to be pretty bummed about it. So we're going to go look at my TV and see how it looks on my TV and see what the experience is. Don't forget to like and share. I do these videos weekly, and let's see how it looks. Let's see if we can get to just some content. You can see the detail is just amazing. Okay, everybody, this is the 4K Apple TV home screen. As you can see, you got Apple Music, got all the channels that are in 4K, so you've got all your, let's go to the 4K movie events. The touchpad seems a little sensitive, but the 4K movies seem really good. Of course, you've got your movies that are gonna just come right up in 4K. I looked at The Kingsman. It looked really good in the 4K. I just looked at a preview of that. Seems like the remote is a little touchy for me, but I think that's because my hands are dry. Anyway, let's look at the 4K. You see Dolby Vision in the corner. That's going to show up whenever you play something in 4K. And it will also show for things that aren't actually in Dolby Vision, and that's a little confusing because it tries to up-convert it. But the picture quality is really superb.
But you need to stay on it.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to go to the home screen. Of course, you got Apple Music. And if you press play, you get some good music. And you'll even get Dolby Vision on your Apple Music. Okay, let me go home again. You got to hold the home button, and you can just get home again. So when you first set up, you're going to be asked to check the cable. I ran into this problem. I've got a Bose SoundTouch 300, and it does 4K pass-through. However, it doesn't pass through Dolby Vision. So this particular check did not work for me. So I had to run through the TV directly and run my optical audio out. So when you go ahead and check, it turns the screen black. So it's going to just go ahead and check and see if you've got Dolby Vision capability and HDR capability. Right now it says that everything's okay, and I'm going to move on. So that checked out. So you have to do that check in the beginning, or else it's just going to play in what your TV can handle. My TV is the LG OLED 65C7, so I have the capability of doing Dolby Vision. So my format is Dolby Vision, as you can see. You've got some other, I've got surround sound as my best quality available, and that's what I have right there. And of course the format, let's just see what the options are. As you can see, I have 4K Dolby Vision, which is the best picture quality that you can get, and I can support it on this TV. So it's going to upconvert everything to that. That's really it. Other than that, ESPN, oh my gosh, you have to see ESPN. So logging into ESPN, you have a new feature called multicast. So on multicast, you have a choice. Look up, you have a choice between two windows, one window with the PIP. So you got many configurations, but let's just do the grid just to be simple. So I can go down here and select another channel to be put in the grid. Now I'm adding this channel. I'm going to add the Cubs versus Brewers into, sorry, I just took that out, so let's put that back in. Anyway, let's add Sports Center and another one. Okay, so now I'm going to fill up the 4 grids. And what's really great is I push play, and look at this. I'm watching 4 screens at once. I'm watching 4 streams at once. Now this is probably going to use a lot of bandwidth, but I have, I think 100 gigabyte into my house, so that's not a problem. But as you can see, look what it did. It's playing all these at once. Although the first one looks like it froze, but other than that, it seems to be working okay. So there we go. Let's go back into that again and see what happens. So I'm thrilled with this particular feature. Now I want to change the grid. Let's do this one. Okay? Look at that. So now I've got 3 on the side and 1 on the left. So the one you're actually focused on. And I'm going to go ahead and try to move to a different one. So I'm going to move that middle one and switch it.
On the year, Reds up 4-1, but here comes
Let's do that again. Okay, so I bring it up to full screen. I don't know if I can switch that.
Just like that, they
Okay, so if I swipe over to the left. Oh, whichever one has the focus. So that's really interesting. Anyway, I'm really thrilled with this. Let's do 3 up.
Remains a nit when the season starts. They just got a little slimmer according to our
That I love. So anyway, that is ESPN. Really, really good. Hulu and Showtime and everything is just kind of what you'd expect. I didn't add too many, but I want to give you guys a quick preview. Alright, don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.